Hey everybody, TheYo-KaiGuy here. Welcome back to another My Top 10, and today we're going to be counting down my top 10 hidden gems for the PlayStation 2. If you guys enjoy these videos, make sure to leave a like, comment, and if you want to, subscribe, as I upload new videos or try to upload new videos regularly, and I really appreciate you guys doing so. It also shows me that you guys want me to do more videos like these for you. If you guys would really like to, I do have a Patreon channel. Link will be in the description down below, so make sure you check it out if you really want to support this channel. So let's begin. First game on the list is Urban Crisis, or Urban Chaos Riot Response. This is a game by Rocksteady, and is actually Rocksteady's first FPS game, or first video game they ever made. So, the game is very good, very fun to play. You're a police captain, and you go in to solve crisis or problems. Unlike other military shooters, this one actually takes the role of a police shooter, so it's actually pretty fun. I played a little bit of it. I haven't really beaten the game yet, but I've heard this one is super fun to play. A hard one, but really fun. Hopefully I'll get around to it. If you guys find this one, the price is usually pretty cheap. I mean, they're not that expensive. Probably around $20 at the very least. So yeah, not that expensive, but I recommend you check this one out. The next game on the list is Ark the Lad: Twilight of the Spirits. Now, Ark the Lad is a tactical RPG. This one was released in Japan, the U.S., North America, and Europe. So yeah, this was also released for the European countries, and it's the first time any Ark the Lad fans in the UK or in Europe actually managed to get this game. Surprisingly, it didn't do too well because it had very low sales. It's the only game that allows you to play as two separate characters. The story is kind of weak, but I really do love the gameplay, the style of this game. I'm not a huge fan of tactical RPGs, but this one is really good. Overall, if you find this game, I recommend picking it up. The price for this one is usually around $12. Not that expensive. It's pretty easy to get. So yeah, I recommend you pick this one up if you find it. Next game on the list is a little bit more expensive. This one is Monster Rancher 4. Now, Monster Rancher 4 is a monster raising simulator that allows you to raise monsters and compete in battles. But you can also explore caverns with your monster, and it kind of revolves you around to taking care of a monster, just all the similar stuff that made the previous game so good. But this one has a really huge cult following. Recently, they have Koei Tecmo in Japan released Monster Rancher 1 for phones or smartphones. If you guys do find this game, the game's usually about $50, $60, maybe $80 on like eBay. I'd recommend trying to look for this at garage sales or maybe the pawn shop. This one's a really good game, and I recommend checking it out, but it's also really hard to do because you do run out of food very, very quickly. So yeah, just keep that part in mind. Next game on the list is Blood Will Tell. Now, this is actually a Japanese horror game by Sega and has some RPG elements in it. At the start of the game, you actually start off with the screen in black and white, but as soon as you get your eyes back, it'll actually turn back to color, which is a very weird kind of style of game. It's a really good hack and slash game. Focuses a lot on Japanese folklore, so there's a lot of monsters and stuff to kill. This one is really, really hard to find, mostly around $80. It's one of the more expensive games on this list, but I recommend you do check this one out. If you do find it, Blood Will Tell is a very fun action RPG, and I recommend you do so. Next game on the list is Drakengard, the original Drakengard for the PlayStation 2. Drakengard is an action RPG made by Square Enix, of all people. Yeah. This was a very fun game to play. It kind of reminds me of the Dynasty Warriors games. This is kind of an action RPG, hack and slash. Yeah. you got the idea. Similar to Dynasty Warriors. You level up your weapons, you get to fly on a dragon, and what other game allows you to do that? I mean, that basically starts as a hack and slash game, and then allows you to fly on a freaking dragon, and it's a totally different experience. The story is really fun, very addicting. You go through different levels, different characters. The storyline is really good. The voice acting's top-notch. I got this game for about $20, but I think the price for this one for a complete in-box copy is usually around $50 to $60, which is a good thing because this is a game that I recommend getting into. It's a fun game. The other games in the series are kind of hit or miss. Some love them, some hate them. But this one is a very fun game, and I recommend you check this one out. Next game on the list is Wild Arms Alter Code F. This game is very fun. It's a remake of the original first game, and it's basically written from the ground up. This game includes a full episode or a 20-minute episode of the anime series that was available in Japan, English dubbed. This game is usually the most expensive one on the list, and is actually worth around complete in box for $120, $130. This one is hard to get your hands on because the popularity of this one, or the marketing campaign just wasn't there for it. Overall, I recommend getting this game. It's a really fun one to play. The RPG elements are there. It's extremely, extremely fun. So yeah, moving on. Next game on the list is Battlestar Galactica. Now, I went into this game not knowing what to expect, but this one was amazingly fun. It takes place in the 1970s version of Battlestar Galactica. And this one is actually like only about $12, 12 to 16, 15, 16, 20, maybe $30, complete in box. This one kind of reminds me of the Star Wars Rogue Squadron games. If you don't remember those are flying simulators, and that's what this is. Only thing is, this one is really, really hard. Like, it's hard to beat. Even on the normal difficulty, I find this one nearly impossible. It's real frustrating, but it's a very fun game to play. And you can fly first person. I mean, this is a really good game. I recommend checking it out if you do find it at a garage sale. Don't skip this one. It's pretty fun. Next game on the list is Jade Cocoon 2. That's right, the second Jade Cocoon game for the PS1. This one is on the PS2. This takes place nearly about 100 years after the first game. You play as a different character that can capture monsters and use them in three different fighting styles. There's also there's many different species that you can choose from, such as animals, insects, like bears, wolves, rabbits, or whatnot. They each have their own element stats and abilities. This one's a very fun game to play. It's pretty linear for the level design, but overall, you get a lot of different styles. The voice acting's really good in this game. Compared to the first game, I actually prefer the first game over this one, but if you do find this game, I recommend checking it out. It's a pretty decent game to play. Next game on the list is Spiderman Web of Shadows Ultimate Allies Edition, or Amazing Allies Edition. Yeah, Web of Shadows is a very good open-world RPG, or similar RPG. You get to choose between a light and dark side of Spider-Man, or the symbiote or original Spider-Man. The way you play determines the outcome of the game. This was also released on the PS3 and Xbox 360, but I recommend getting this one because you actually get to recruit Nightcrawler. It's a pretty fun game. There's more allies to recruit and stuff, like Octavius or even Nightcrawler. This one's really open world. I recommend you do check this one out. It's really fun. The world is alive and breathing. It's not as fun as the other, like Spider-Man 2 or Marvel Spider-Man, but I recommend getting this one. if you want to have a more open world experience other than Amazing Spider-Man. Finally, we got Rogue Galaxy. This was a game made by Level 5 and is a very fun game to play. This is an action RPG mixed with some exploration. Kind of reminds me a lot of Treasure Planet, which was a very good movie. I actually like that movie by Disney. This one has sort of similar elements to that. It's a very fun game to play. Price for this one is usually around $40-50 at most. Yeah, it's very good. I recommend getting this game. If you do find it for a cheap price, pick it up. The story revolves around your character, who's a treasure master, a treasure hunter, who just wants to go out on an adventure and become part of pirates. And it's basically space pirates. So, yeah, it's a pretty good game. So I'm going to actually include these two as a bonus, and they are RPG Maker 2 and RPG Maker 3 on the PlayStation 2. Now, I know RPG Maker games don't usually have a lot of variety when it comes to these kind of systems, and I know these are technically not video games, but I'm going to include them anyway. These games allow you to make your own video games. It's hard to do, but once you figure out what to do with these, or how the system works, then similar to Project Spark, you can actually make it work for yourself. Games are very fun to play. Once you create a video game, and once you learn the systems and how to do so, it's a very interesting experience. In fact, I'm even learning new stuff that I didn't even know the games or the programs could do on PS2. But it's amazing how far these games have actually come along. I mean, even for consoles, it was ambitious to try something like this. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about. If you guys enjoy these videos, make sure to leave a like, comment, and if you want to, subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.